Hi, everybody. Welcome back to I Tell You What. And today I have my guest, Christina. Christina, want to tell everybody about yourself?
Sure, thank you. I'm Christina. I did 18 years in the Army, and that's where I met Frank. And I have two beautiful children.
Very.
Um, oh, thank you. I did multiple jobs in the military, wore different hats, and absolutely loved it. I've had many experiences with different things here and there, but mostly, yeah, mostly just
Modeling,
right now.
etc., etc.
Yes, yeah, I've dabbled in modeling a little bit. I've also have been a zookeeper for a little bit.
Nice.
I went to school for forensic science, which was amazing. Psychology, like I said, a little bit of everything, really.
No,
And I'm really excited because you and I have a lot to talk about and catch up on.
for sure. By the way, guys, that means no cell phone is safe from her. She went to school for forensic science, so if she wants to get in that cell phone, she'll get in that cell phone.
Yes,
But no,
a
it's
little bit.
but no, it's great to see you again. I know some of our viewers, our listeners may not notice, but I know some of our viewers are really going to be zooming in and they're like, "What's going on right there?" And
Yes,
no, she was not in a domestic violence case, so we're just gonna throw that out there right now. Christina, you want to go ahead and share with the people what happened?
yes. Friday, since this is Monday. I was involved in a almost head-on collision in my vehicle with a freeway cement pillar, the ones that hold up the overpass of a freeway. I only had minimal, like mere seconds before I could adjust to where I was going to end up, either in the back of another SUV or, as far as I could see, head on with this pillar. So I was able to just adjust slightly, and the impact hit my passenger side front end, which bounced me off, and that basically saved my life. Was just the slight adjustment, the seat belt, the airbags, the safety features of the vehicle, absolutely saved my life as well. I'm actually very, very lucky to be here today because I look at the pictures and the damage. My vehicle is completely totaled. That's gone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because I've only had it for 3 months, and it was a really nice camper.
What model vehicle it
But
was? Like not trying to gas up somebody's
oh yes,
like
it was a
business.
it was a Land Rover H. See, I don't even remember the model of it. It was so
Right?
new to me.
I'm trying to tell you. Well, I'm saying though, like, but for anybody out there with families and stuff, it saved your life. So, yeah.
It was a Land Rover like H2 series, I believe, like H that in that area. It was very nice, and for the first time, I had everything I wanted in a vehicle.
Right.
It just ended up the way it was, and I'm so glad that I did decide to get something like that this time,
Yeah.
because I did have an old school Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
You remember my Nissan Xterra, which I
I
loved. I
do.
absolutely loved that thing.
I don't think it
Um,
would have held up like that one did.
no,
No.
that thing, it was basically the impact was so bad that it collapsed in on itself, and saved me. I was pinned a little bit, but all my limbs are here. I made it out, and like really what you can see is the extent of my injuries right now. And with the quick reaction of the person that was behind me, who I think was a military member,
Right.
as well, he came to help. The impact was so bad that I hit on my passenger side.
Right.
My driver's side door would not open, and I did not hit anything on that side. I was launched from the pillar across, and I was basically pinned in. And so he had a hard time trying to get to me from the driver's side. It was a very eye-opening experience. I was able to save everybody else around me, and I was the only one that was really hurt in my car. But
and that's always
I
been
have great insurance.
that's always been a key part of your nature since I've known you, is to put others before yourself, like even at the cost of yourself. So that's I don't know if you've seen what is it, The Dark Knight, Christian
Yeah.
Bale. Well, the Joker, he said a line in that movie, and I feel like it's so spot on. It's so spot on because he said, "You want to know who you really are? It's in the moments that you're about to die. You discover who like you really are inside." And he was telling him about his partners or whatever that he killed. He was just like, "Yeah, those guys are my partners." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, if you want to know, I actually knew them better than you did because I was with them in their last moments." And he's like, "You want to know which one of them are cowards?" And trying to antagonize the guy. But like that part of the movie really stuck out for me because I was just like, man, everyone in the world, everyone, man, woman, child, they love to say, well, if I was about to die, I do this, and if I was about to die, I do that, or if it was the end for me, this is how I react to a situation that was life threatening, and we never know. We never really know until that's thrust upon us, and in that moment, you didn't know whether you walk away from that or not, but you reacted how you've always acted in life, and you were just like, I don't want anyone else to get hurt.
Right, and I do very, very vividly remember, I know I'm going to hit something and I don't want it to hurt anybody else. And I know it's going to cause damage, but I didn't want to inflict any more injuries or damage to anything else. And I would take that on. And I do believe that you hit that right on the nail. Like, if you're looking at death right in the eyes and that's what you see coming up, you figure out who you are real fast.
Yeah.
And wow, it's very, very humbling. It's a very intense and slow motion,
yeah,
all at once type of feeling. Apparently I took out a whole freeway street sign and everything, and I didn't see that because at that moment, that sign wasn't going to kill me. The pillar was.
Right.
And the other person in front of me, they were important. So you only see, or I only saw what was important.
Right.
And it really is a split second, but it's so slow, and it gives you just enough time to really make those decisions. And if by any chance you ever come out of that, which I'm very, very fortunate to do, don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because that day I was having a very, very bad day. I was in a very dark place, and I was very sad, and that had nothing to do with this accident by any means.
Right.
And I felt out of control with everything. That accident, like I told you earlier, I was shaking so hard, and I really attributed that to me trying to hold on to that steering wheel as hard as I could to have control. But in reality, nobody really has control when it comes down to it.
No.
You only control your actions. You only control who you are inside and your heart. And I found that out the other day. And I love myself. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's always good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just, it's a lot to process. I mean, we take this life for granted, and I don't know, like it was times where, like, when we served together, I remember she was my supply sergeant, by the way, for those of you who know what a supply sergeant is. And I was always coming to her for one reason or another, either be it advice or I don't know, like just like be it whatever. Like I was just always coming to her. I really wanted that flamethrower. It was on the books though, so I couldn't get that flamethrower because it was definitely on the books. I could never get it, you know.
Yes, that flamethrower was gold up there. I love that thing.
Yeah.
It dropped off the books though.
Nice. Nice. Zombie apocalypse, that's gonna come in real handy. So nice.
That was amazing. That's so funny. You remember that when I was moving from up there, from where we were, Monterey,
right,
to Sacramento.
Yeah.
I had the other thing, the AT4 inert training one.
Yeah.
Up in my rafters in my garage, and when I was moving from there to North Carolina,
right.
My friend that was helping me move was moving things out of my rafters, and that fell on him. And he said, "A rocket launcher just fell out of your rafters." I'm like, "I don't have a rocket launcher." Oh wait.
That's right. You don't have a rocket launcher.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
Don't. That's damn right.
It was so funny. I was like, "Oh, you civilian. That's not a rocket launcher."
No. But yeah, like I was eyeing that thing hard. I was like, man.
Yeah. I actually I met up with a gentleman down in the Hollywood area who does a lot of vehicles and everything for shows, I guess.
Right.
Mad Max and a whole bunch of shows.
Nice.
And I traded my flamethrower for a Humvee.
Nice.
That Humvee, maybe you've seen? Yeah, I traded that for the Humvee.
That's not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade at all. I
think the last movie it was on was American Sniper.
Nice.
And then they got retired because it was too loud for film.
Hell yeah. I like it. That was a good trade.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
And then...
I got on that one.
And then there was this one time, I don't even remember now. I just remember the outcome of what was going on. I don't know what happened before I came in there, but I was going to the supply room. I was just like, I need to ask her for this and this, whatever it was. And that damn stool was in there getting the business, and I was just like, you know what? I'll come back later.
Okay, what had happened was the stool would not fold down.
Right.
I was done with the stool. It would not fold down. And I had lost my patience. Like I said, trying to be in control.
Right.
Full circle on that one right there.
I see that.
And I could not get it to go. And my temper, and I just went to town and I started to, I guess, smash it at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Or try to close it, really. And I turned and there you are, standing there very, very confused. And the thing you say to me was, "I will come back later."
I'll come back
later.
later.
And the look on your face.
You was busy. Look, you was busy. There was some stuff going on that you needed to work out with that stool. And I wasn't going to interfere. I was going to let you have your piece. And
I don't know how long you were staying there.
I was standing there probably from start to finish. I believe I came in right around, "Fuck it, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking stool. You're going to fucking close or I'm going to fucking turn you into firewood."
Yep. Oh my goodness.
And then I was just like, oh, okay. And then
at that point,
it was something Joe had sent me. Matter of fact, rest in peace, Joe. But Joe had sent me to you to get something, and when I came back, he was wondering why I was empty-handed. Like, he was like, "So what's up?" And then I was just like, "She's going through something right now." Like, that's all I can say. I was like, "She's going through something right now," and he's like, he's like, "Well, go get it."
Now, I have to show you because I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
This is so much easier, by the way.
Okay.
I told you I have a stool.
Okay.
This is a metal stool now.
Nice.
Right? It cannot break in my power, and it just folds down with like a click, and there's one button on that thing. I just click it back together, and it's so easy and done with.
Hey,
None have to worry about it. It doesn't break. It just does what I tell it to do. Everybody's good.
Woosah. We back. Like, cause man, hey, it was violence incarnate that day, man. And I was like, I'm not even finna go over there. Look, I'm sorry. Not even being racial, but if this were a scary movie situation, I'm smart enough not to put myself in that. Like, I was telling somebody before, I was like, man, you put me in
the first to die, right?
I'm trying to tell you, put me in a scary movie situation, man. Like, the movie's over in like a minute. It's not gonna. The movie ain't finna go past the opening credits. Like, it's like, I see this as a bad situation. I'm out. I don't need to even be there.
Yeah. See, you're a smart one.
Yeah.
You would live. And what the funny thing is, when I went back to that stool, later on in the day, it was still sitting there, and I didn't want to go over there to it. There was a note from you, that really from stool.
From the
Please
stool.
Please don't hurt me.
That's it.
Please don't hurt me.
That's
from
it.
stool.
Yeah.
Just right there on the top of it.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. I was
I'm
like, there's only one person that I know put this on here.
I'm trying to tell you, man, that stool, it had its feelings hurt physically and emotionally. It didn't want to be hurt no more. So that's it.
Oh. And you know what? It still stood strong. I think that they still have that stool, by the way.
They
and
probably
it's been,
do.
what, 10 years?
They probably do. They probably do got it, yeah.
They probably do. Like, they're not going to get rid of that thing and survive me.
I was shocked that it survived you. But yeah, no, it was so funny because Joe was just like, so I forgot what it was that he asked me to go get, but he was like, so where is it? And I told him, I was like, you're going through something. And then he was just like, okay, I'll go get it. So I was like, okay, you do that. Again, if this is a scary movie starring an all-black cast, it might end differently because Joe took two steps. And then he turned around and he was just like, wait a minute, what was going on? Because you were gone for a minute, so what happened? And I was just like, I told him what happened with the stool. And I was like, so you gonna go get it? And then he was like, I'll get it later. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, it'll be a pretty open and shut movie. The shit wouldn't go past the opening credits.
I think that's when I put myself on timeout, is that day.
Yeah.
Like, when I closed my cage door to my office, closed it, nobody was in there, and I think that's when Joe took a picture of me. He said it's a really bad day when Cooper puts herself on timeout.
That was the exact same day.
It's not even a full door. It was just like cage. Yeah. It was just chain link door, so you could see me. Yeah. People would still talk to me, but for some reason, when I closed that door, nobody talks to me.
Hell no! Like,
they
look,
just walk on by.
Look, you want what that stool got? No. So look, ain't nobody need to mess with you no more.
And it worked. It worked great.
Yeah, it was shit. I was cool. Like, I ain't need nothing for the rest of that week. Like, I was like, man, fuck it, I'm good. I don't need nothing. Perfectly fine.
I felt so bad. I was like, just take whatever you want. Just take whatever you want. Just don't let that get out. But you know what? Now I think about it, I'm like, nobody died.
Nobody died. Like, no, the stool, like I say, it didn't even die. It was injured. It didn't die, though. So.
Oh, my gosh. Just thinking about it, I'm getting hot. I'm getting red. Because I was so angry. Just because it wouldn't close. It was something so simple and so stupid. Yeah. It wasn't like it needed to close right then and there. No. I just wanted it to close. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
I see. But what are if you feel like sharing, what are some times that before prior events that happened Friday, what are some times you felt yourself go into like dark places?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What are some times you felt yourself go into like dark places?
Oh, well, I consider myself a pretty open and emotional person, and I didn't used to be for a very long time. I don't know if that has anything to do with like how I was raised or too much of something or too less of something or anything like that. But I do know I became very, very not necessarily like emotional, but more open and outgoing and everything after I guess you could say I became very, very quiet after Iraq and secluded, and I went in 2003, so that was pretty much in the beginning.
Yeah, it was fresh as fuck.
The second weekend, behind the Marines, so we were very.
I think I was like at the tail end of the third wave going in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I was a gunner.
Yeah.
So I was up there, and we didn't have any up armor. We didn't have anything. We had soft shell, everything, and we didn't get any armor.
I was about to say that shit, because I went in with the armored vehicles, and that shit was still rough. So I can only imagine, like, fuck.
And now that I think about it, that's crazy. Like, I was up in the turrets with none of the stuff you see today. Right. Like, even in the movies now, it's all retrofitted and everything.
Yeah, in the movies, they make it seem like, oh yeah, everything's like this, you're all safe, and it's like, nah, I've been over there. I know better.
Yeah, I think they forgot, like, I mean, there are some movies that still portray, like, what we did in the beginning, but not very many. A lot of them show the up armor, a lot of them show, like, how protected we are and everything, but we didn't have doors for a lot of that time. We just threw them off.
Yeah.
Because it was easier to get out and everything if something happened. And, like, if an ID hit us, we had sandbags in the bottom of the vehicle. Yeah. We had literally, like stuff just everywhere inside. Just sometimes there would be a grenade that would just roll around. I'm like, oh, that's mine, and grab it and pick it up, and nothing.
It's not funny. It's one of those types of things where you have to live it and experience it to appreciate it. So, like, I promise you, everyone.
That's the crazy part about it.
We're not psychotic.
Okay, then. That was life.
Yeah.
That was normal. Like, there's a picture of me just dirty and, like, just a mess. And we had plywood on the inside, on the top of our Humvee, holding up the roof because all of our gear was on top of the roof of this Humvee.
Right.
And I'm not talking at 62 or 1097. I'm talking a 998 Humvee.
Oh, shit.
The bare minimum Humvee that barely went 40 miles an hour.
You weren't really escaping. I was going to say, you weren't escaping shit at 40 miles an hour. Like, it's like, okay, well, you get out and run, you might do a little bit better.
Like, I was yelling at my driver, go faster. He's like, I'm flooring it. Like, it's kind of like a movie scene.
Pretty much. Going as fast as I can.
Like, oh, goodness. And I'm not even kidding. Our sergeant major, he was the scariest person alive. Like, he scared me, but he was the coolest guy ever. Our speech wasn't like, you guys are going to do great things and go on and, be these great, you're going to help. No. He told us, saying on the back of a striker, looked like a movie scene. I loved it.
Right.
Somebody's going to die tomorrow. Be prepared. Be ready. That kind of speech. And we got chill. I got chills just talking about it. But he looked magnificent. I believed every word he said. And then he said that. And I was like,
oh, shit.
Oh, my gosh. But it was cool. Nobody died that day.
Right.
It was fine. He just wanted people to be like, it was a dose of reality that day. And it was hardcore. Like, this guy, I think he went Delta Force after that or something.
Probably.
He belonged there. He didn't belong with us at that moment. Like, he wanted something greater for himself, and he got it. But dang, he looked great. Like, it was kind of like a Independence Day speech type thing.
Okay.
You're the one getting talked to about all that stuff. It's gonna happen to you. Like, it was amazing.
And then somebody's gonna die. It's like, oh, well.
Who said that?
Shit.
I'm like, you don't say that. This is not what. But no, we came here to, like, be hyped up and like everything.
I think that's
it was cool.
I think that's a major difference, though, in the military. Our generation of the military versus the current iteration of the military is, I think they're more catered to this new generation of being PC, so to speak, like not using such harsh language and stuff, and being more inspirational. Because when I was fresh out of basic, I think it was like our graduation day in basic, we were in the barracks, and in like a few hours we would go out there, we present arms and all that stuff, we do all this stuff, and then we graduate basic, then we go to our family members and whatnot and spend a few minutes with them and blah blah blah, basic training, Fort Benning. Then while we're in there, before we even go out, our drill sergeants tell us that, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all privates, so here's what's gonna happen. Some of you are going to get deployed right out of basic. Like, as soon as you guys get to your stations, you're going to get deployed. He called it 100 billion% true. Like, but regardless of that, he was just like, nah, I want y'all to look left, look right. And he was just like, I'm going to tell you just like this. Some of you are never going to see each other ever again. And I don't mean because you're going off for the life of doing great things, but I believe because I'm telling you this because some of you are going to be dead. And and all of us, similar situation, we were just like,
yes.
You don't tell people that shit. Like, it's like,
At least we have a little bit thick skin. Like I think
Right.
that our generation we're a little tough.
Yeah,
So
we had to be.
we
We
can
had no.
take it.
Yeah, we ain't have no choice. Shit, it was just like it's out there now. It's like,
Right?
well, shit. It's like, all
Yeah.
right. So I guess that's a
Yeah. I
thing.
don't think I was in basic training when September 11th happened. I was on the M16 qualifying range when we got pulled, and they told us that the Twin Towers had fallen. And
Oh yeah, y'all going to war. Y'all going to war. Y'all need to know that all the time. Like,
oh,
yeah, y'all going to
those
fucking
folks
war.
loved it. They loved it. That was the whole thing. Like that, our whole graduating class were told, "Y'all going to war."
That's it.
The training has finished.
That's
Yep.
it. That's all
So
you
all
need
the
to
people
know.
that signed up for college
Yeah.
and all that stuff, they got scared. You didn't sign up for this? I'm like, you are wearing the U.S. Army uniform.
That's it. Like, you're a soldier
Isn't that
first.
what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you're a soldier first.
That's
no
how
matter what.
I
No, you
that's how
absolutely
I
right.
believe it.
You're absolutely right. You called it. Look, like I don't know. So I don't know any sane human being that would join the military in any country. The U.S. Armed Forces, the Russian Armed Forces, the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the Chinese Armed Forces, any armed forces. Hell, the Middle Eastern militia and stuff. Like even they're anarchists. Like any type of armed forces. I don't know anybody that goes into there thinking that, oh, I'm just in here to be seen, get a cool uniform, get some cool, sweatpants and stuff. Nice tracksuit. Them tracksuits was clean though. I ain't gonna lie. But especially that last one, that black and yellow that they put out. I like that shit.
Yes.
I like
Sharp.
that shit. But I'm just saying though, like you don't go in there just to get that cool shit. Like you go in there and you have a job to do. Your job before even your MOS, your primary job is to be a soldier. They teach you how to.
That's why everybody has to qualify on a weapon.
I was gonna say they teach you how to qualify on a weapon. They teach you basic, know-how and stuff. FTX and stuff. They teach you how to survive in the wilderness if need be, because you might be grounded. Like you never know. But they teach you basic things so you can survive, and primarily use damn near any weapon so you can destroy the enemy. That's it.
Yes, and that is one thing that it really came to light to me there, because our drill sergeant would go around asking almost everybody there, why did you join the army? Like, oh, for college or this and that. And then September 11th happened, and our class dropped by a third.
I believe.
I mean, they did have the people that had family that worked in the towers, respectfully
Right.
leave, because they had that emergency, of course.
Right.
But the fallout of, oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake now.
Yeah.
And now I'm scared that we are actually going to be needed and go to war at that time. That hit people very hard, and they just didn't want to do it. And by all means, please drop out then instead of later on when I'm counting on you next to me
Yeah.
to help me with something down the road.
Yeah.
Please do that, because there were times there in Iraq that I counted on other people, and I am so thankful that they were there and ready, especially as a gunner up there, and for my driver that was helping us avoid other things in the road and everything. Like, you really count on people to your left and right, and like I said, like it's amazing that we meet all these people, and the best thing I ever can take away from my experience is the people that I got to meet. And wow, like, it's been years. I joined in 2001, and it's already 22, and I'm still talking to people that I knew.
It's definitely it's familial. It's definitely a brotherhood and sisterhood. It's definitely it's a bond, and I don't care what branch you are. Like, it's a bond that you're gonna share with people until the day you die. Like, yeah, it's because, like you say, you meet people, and like your life is profoundly touched by those people.
Yes, and like it's crazy, because there's a lot of people that I meet who haven't served, and they don't understand it. They don't understand how if I get a call at who knows what time, I'm ready to answer that phone and talk for hours because my friend needs me to. They don't understand if I need to talk to somebody, maybe they're not the person I need to talk to that moment. Maybe I need to talk to somebody else who understands a little bit more. It's hard for them to understand that we are a family.
Right.
And we will be there for each other for a lifetime, really. Because when I guess, really put my life in somebody else's hands like that,
yeah,
or work so hard to make sure that everybody's taken care of in the unit. Say it's a sergeant. So there's a bond there that that's unwaverable. That is unshakable. It's something I would never ever trade for the world.
Yeah.
And I wish that people would just taste that for a little bit and just feel that kind of camaraderie, just a little bit, and understand, if we all had that for just a split second, I don't think there would be that much arguing. Or there might be a little bickering here and there, but oh my gosh, we get along so much better. We give each other a little crap here and there, but if everything was like the military kind of bonds, man, that'd be so cool. Are these an hour or so? Your show's an hour?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I really like that guy. Who was that guy that you had on with that you sent me with the unicorn and everything? That was deep about Roe versus Wade. Roe, yeah.
Oh, David. Yeah, David. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, though, man.
That's why I was like, I need to make sure my stuff's in order. Oh my god. I can't be looking at the frumpy and everything.
No, David's definitely good. A lot of the viewers and listeners, they like David, so I get him back. He's a reoccurring character every now and then, and
that's cool.
Yeah, and I have people that are reoccurring characters and stuff. I have people that are one-offs, they say they want to do it, and then they're just like, all right, cool, it was a good experience, but well,
I'm retired now. I have nothing to do. I'm not working at a zoo anymore. Yeah, that was great.
So yeah,
I got bored. I'm gonna go check out the zoo. I ended up working. I didn't even work there. I didn't get paid. I volunteered. I got a T-shirt, but
nice.
I got to work with tigers and all that. And then Tiger King came out, and I'm like, ooh, yikes! And I got
right?
So much crap for that.
Tiger King was, hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel guilty. I feel so guilty because Tiger King was my shit. So.
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I'm working in a fucking zoo.
Right.
With tigers.
Fucking Carol Baskins.
These guys, they might look a little gnarnard because they're rescues. They are rescue tigers.
Right.
100%. I mean, some of them are abandoned, zoo tigers, or not zoo tigers, but circus, they're older, retired circus tigers and everything.
Right.
The guy that owned the zoo that was the Bosley hair guy, the guy coming out of the pool.
Right.
With hair plugs.
Okay.
That guy, that was the guy that owned the zoo, and he started this little thing, and it started with one monkey. He won a monkey at a horse show, because he had showed mini horses, and he won a monkey. He said, what am I going to do with this monkey? What do people do with these monkeys? And then he just started this whole rescue. It turned into a huge thing, which turned into a zoo, and it was really cool. Okay. They had the world record, biggest, draft horse, and a giraffe, kind of surprises people because they don't think the giraffe's gonna pop its head out of this thing, and it's really it's very hands-on, very close experience. It really is really neat.
Heck yeah.
And there was goats running around everywhere. I thought somebody had left the thing open when I went to go do my orientation.
Right.
Did somebody leave the goat pen open or something? Oh no, they're free range goats. Only in North Carolina do you find free range goats at just a zoo, I guess, but I think it's different in California.
I think very different in California. You ain't gonna find no free range.
I moved back here, and I knew I made the biggest mistake of my life.
East Coast is better.
I drove from North Carolina back to California in 3 days, and everything got brown, hot, and ugly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did I do?
East Coast.
And of all places, Bakersfield.
East Coast. I mean, East Coast is where it's at. I can't help it. Like it's just.
I know. I love it. I miss it, and I kicked myself in the butt when I realized that you were just down like in Florida, and I was down in Florida a few times too. Like
right.
Hanging out, feeding alligators and crocodiles, or whatever the heck those things are.
Alligators. I mean, no, but man, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's so weird. Like, so coming from Florida, born and raised, it's like this. I tell people, I was like, man, Florida is the Australia of the United States. It's beautiful.
I have no idea.
And everything's great, and everything's lovely, but everything can kill you. Everything, like the air, everything can kill you.
I got hit in the face with a tree and I thought I was dying. Like, I don't know what it was. I found out later it was a palm tree. I don't know. Like, it's like, I felt like I got cut or something. I was like, oh, shit, it's trying to eat me.
Florida's dangerous.
That place, I love it. I love it, but everything's big. Everything's trying to eat you. Everything's hot, stuck to you. Like, it is definitely an acquired environment.
Yeah.
Very acquired. How did you survive in Monterey?
I don't know, man. Like, Monterey was so nice. Like, I don't know. Everybody was so nice. Like I told you, I thought people were plotting on me the whole time because I'm from the East Coast, and and people are like, kiss my ass or go to hell or this, that, and the other, and just, hi, how are you doing? Hi, is everything?
See, I found the opposite. I found that everybody was so much nicer on the East Coast. Well, North Carolina, I don't know. I guess Florida people are kind of jerks sometimes, but like North Carolina, I was like, yes sir, yes ma'am, like. I've never been.
Well, I think that's more. I think it's definitely more country in North Carolina for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I came back with a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a little bit hicked out.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even mean a little bit. Like, people here saw it and they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, it's my Jeep. They're like, "That's not a Jeep. That's like, okay, like what the." It's so hicked out. I'll tell you the truth. It's so hicked out. I had it on the U-Haul trailer, like towing behind another SUV, like with my stuff moving.
Right.
And my pig mount from Trophy, was in the passenger seat of that Jeep that was on the trailer.
Right.
So it looked like a dying dog could be in the back in the seat of the Jeep. So many people just stopped and stared at this boar's head in the passenger side of this Jeep. Like, what the hell is coming into our state? Luckily, the rental vehicle that I had, towing everything, had an Oklahoma plate. So I stopped at Oklahoma for gas.
Yeah.
They thought I was home. I fit so well in Oklahoma. They thought I was moving home.
Wow.
Keep in mind, it was a random gas station. These people were sitting on the porch of this gas station, no front teeth. I was so like, oh my god, no! I am not from here. That's just the rental. But I didn't want to tell them I was moving back to Bakersfield either, because that might be worse.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's... I got a flat tire in Arizona on my trailer. Yeah, it was a horrible trip. Very horrible.
So your karma and the universe and everything was trying to tell you on your way back, like, turn back now. Like, this is not what you want to do.
Yeah, just don't do it. Go back to the green.
Right.
And I've never been through, like, almost, oh my gosh. A big storm that comes in with rain and wind. What is that called?
A hurricane?
Not a tsunami. A hurricane. Okay, I've been through the hurricane when I first moved there. That was crazy, by the way.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. When I first moved to California, I went through earthquakes and like the earth actually moving and shit, and I'm just like, wow. Okay. Like I don't do that shit. Like a hurricane ain't nothing,
and
but.
I was like, I am from California. We are not used to this whole hurricane. It was Hurricane Florence. It was like a pretty substantial one. Yeah. And people were boarding up windows and everything, and like, a couple trees fell and everything like around me. And luckily, my brother out there, he lived like 20 minutes away. I was so happy. I didn't even know where he lived at that point. Like, or his, like, I totally forgot his wife was stationed on Fort Bragg. So I was like,
Right.
you only live like 10 minutes away from me. What do you do in that situation? He's like, party.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Drink beer.
What?
Yeah.
No. Like, I didn't know. I was so lost. I was so lost at that point. And then moving back, it was almost a hurricane. There was a huge storm.
Yeah.
Bentley came out and helped me move, like, drive, right?
Right.
He freaked out. He was like, do I pull over? What do I do? Like, do I stop? I'm like, turn the windshield wipers on. Like, I was so calm and collected, but I didn't want to let him know, but I was a little nervous.
Right.
Because there was weight in the vehicles and everything. I was like,
no, two people can't be freaking out. Not in that situation. Like, two people can't be freaking out. Come on now.
Right? Like, I had to maintain. And usually, me and him, right? Like, one of us freaking out, you know, or
y'all feed off each other. Y'all play well off of each other's emotions. So if both of y'all just said, all right, I'm going through it, like, it's like, oh no.
Yeah. And he got happier the closer we got to California. Yeah, yes. And I was like, this is shit. This is crap. This is what I'm coming back to. It's all brown. It's all dry. It's gross. It's hot. Like, we stopped at one rest stop, and I felt like I was melting. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the movie where he like molts in the, like, it's a cartoon. Rango.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a little gecko, and he starts to molt.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and like shed all of his skin in the heat. Like, that's what I felt like. Gosh, I was like, this is horrible. He's like, this is amazing. I'm like, no, like, where's the green? Oh, we don't have green anymore. Don't you remember? I'm like, no. At least in Monterey, it was a little green.
Monterey
a little bit nice.
I felt like Monterey was so, what's the word? Matrixy. Like, if that's not a word, I'm copywriting that now. Matrixy is now my word. Matrixy. That's it.
What?
Stamping
it's Matrixy.
Yeah, Matrixy. Monterey was a lot. I'm trying to tell you, like, that shit was fake. It was make believe because, yes, there was green in Monterey. Monterey wasn't, like, deathly heated. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to die from this. It was pretty decent weather.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we had the Dr. Seuss trees.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss trees.
100% Dr. Seuss trees. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, this is weird.
Do you remember my house? You came over a couple times. Like, my house was sand. That's how close we were to the beach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I had sand in my backyard. Like, it's kind of cool, but like, wow. Like, we were so lucky to have, like, that was our place. Like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved when you and Joe would come by and, like, hang out with us and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have a picture of Mason wearing your Superman jacket. I have a few pictures of that.
Love it.
And then Autumn, like giving me a hug. Yeah, it was so cute. I was like, I need to send this to him.
You should.
Like it.
I would like that. Dude,
Okay.
oh my God, I feel like they're huge now. Like,
do you see the picture of Autumn, dude?
I did. I feel old.
She's a full-grown person. She's taller than me. She's like 5'7", 5'6", 5'6", 7". She's tall. She's beautiful. She still has that kind, beautiful, bubbly heart.
She's a little dwarf you still. She's a midget. She does not. She's not allowed to grow a certain age.
That's what I said. I'm like, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to. And I'm like trying to push her down. Right. I'm like, no. Yeah. There's no stopping it. There is no stopping it. And then Mason, you know how he was like, oh, well, small little buff dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's finally getting taller, and he tried to do the whole Justin Bieber long hair thing for a little bit.
It was not working for him.
He's like, look how long it is, and he's like trying to pull it down as hard as he could. I'm like, no, please, let's just cut it.
Let's get a haircut.
Yeah. No, I was trying to I gave him his like little mohawk, like as long as I could possibly like do it, and then he's like, no, I don't want that. I want to grow it out. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. You're not growing your hair out. But I let him. He learned, and that was that.
There we go.
Yeah, like, come on, you look sharp. You look good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But circling back around, so circa 2003, you get back from Iraq, so changed you? And you were
yeah, I was on a extension team. We
right.
were alone. We were on not a fob, but a cob. Like
Right.
it was just me, and my team. So it was me, myself, no, but myself, my two soldiers.
Right. Me myself. You already going bad right there. Look, she's like, it was me, myself.
Me, myself,
Woo!
and
It was two. Hey, it was two of you.
Two of us up there, all by ourselves.
Oh shit!
Handling business. Yeah. No, it was 6 from our unit. Usually, maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
But usually it's supposed to be 6.
Right.
3 on each team, and then we had 10 to 14 of either infantry soldiers as security, or they were field artillery, which turned into QRF.
Right.
And that was it. So we had 14, maybe 20 people at most. 14 people, 20 people up on this little cob, little shack. I don't know if you've seen like the Hornet's Nest or like any of those types of movies. They weren't as severe with like enemy fire or anything like that as those movies. That's why they're in movies. But it was basically built as such. Like we were a communications outpost.
Right.
We relayed communications from main post to everybody outlying, doing missions and everything. Nothing can move without communications.
No shit.
At all.
Yeah.
Medevacs can't come in. And I learned the hard way how important that was when there was a mistake caused by not my team, but
a team.
Somebody that was later
right.
that was later relieved. They made a mistake with the communications, and somebody needed a medevac that was just down the road, and they couldn't reach him, and they ended up driving up our hill and talk about full-on reality hitting you right at the door. They had just come from the site, and they needed comms right then and there, and we were the only ones in reach or eyesight, really, because the comms were down for the whole area. It was a mistake that I guess I still to this day don't really know, but I just did what I had to do, figured it out. They were able to call a medevac, and sadly 2 lives were lost because of something that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
I carried that with me for a long time. Although it wasn't on me, I still carried that with me because I knew how to fix it.
Right.
I felt like I didn't train my soldiers to know right away how to fix it. I don't know. I just felt like I let a lot of people down. I let the people down that passed away. I didn't let my soldiers know that they could tell that person no, they're not doing that, because they don't have to listen to him. They take their orders from me. But you don't do that. I was a specialist as a team leader.
Yeah.
Just
me too. Like I got put in that position too. Yeah.
And he was E7, and E7 comes in and tells my soldiers to do something. So they're gonna of course because they're respectful, because they were taught how to be respectful. But that guy was not communications. He was a field artillery person coming in, who I later found out was put on that hill because they didn't want him down somewhere else because he was relieved from that job.
I dealt with
it just comes back.
I dealt with a similar person.
Yeah.
I dealt with but he was a warrant officer, and I'm not gonna drop no names, but if you know, you know. If I got anybody that I served with out there listening, and by me just mentioning that he was a warrant officer, they know exactly who I'm talking about. He got placed with our outfit because nobody else wanted him.
Yeah, I later found out that he also pulled the team back. The infantry and field artillery guys that were up there, they do route clearance for that road. He pulled the team back early. And the guys that had been up there for a minute, said, no, we're supposed to go way out there. He said, no, we're good. So that and telling my guys to do something that they're not supposed to do too early, it led up to what it did. And sadly, like, it was not good, of course. And I took that on personally. I took a huge just burden on for a long time, because the person that I saw at that doorway when I heard the Humvee running up was covered in blood. This person that I did not expect to see at that door. I thought from was coming up as a supply run or something, but we did feel the impact. We felt the walls kind of cave in a little bit. I knew it was big. I said that was really close, so I looked out and I could see this cloud, and I said that somebody was hit. Be prepared. And what was eerie, that there was no radio static. There was no, like, nothing. It was dead. I was like, this isn't right. And it was just a couple minutes later that he came up and ran to the door. Since I was a team leader, met him at that front door, and it was not something that I was prepared for, right. Especially that young. I deployed when I was 20. I got back when I was like basically 22. I remember my first sergeant when I turned 21, like 2 weeks after I got to Kuwait, before going into it. He gave me a beer. You remember the non-alcoholic beers?
Oh, yeah.
Like, happy birthday.
Those were god-awful.
Yes. Like, that was my 21st birthday out there. And I was young. I was in charge of a lot of things, and I felt I let a lot of people down. And I held those deaths with me for quite some time. And then I got really quiet about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to remember them.
Right.
Because I thought if I remembered them, it would haunt me. Right. It would I would have nightmares, and I wasn't in therapy. I wasn't seeking help. I was suffering by myself, and that was very dark. I started to drink a lot, and when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. And to the point where,
right?
Yeah. If I stopped, I would have seizures, and yeah, it was pretty bad, and that was the only thing that I knew what to do, because I didn't know how to process that. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't feel safe talking about it, because we were told, just check yes, just say no, just do this, and just get by. And
what's fucked up is, like, that is what a lot of people don't get, is they get a pamphlet, family members of people that are in the military, people that think they know about certain stuff, but they don't know the inside of the beast. They feel like, oh, well, if something was wrong, they wouldn't have let you come back home. They would have got you help. But like you just said, they don't know that when you come back off that plane, only thing they're telling you is, yes, nothing's wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. Go home.
Right? And who doesn't want to go home right when they get back?
Right.
When we land, we don't want to be there. We want to get home.
Right.
We want to be away from this for a second.
Yeah.
We don't want to do it, because as soon as you check the wrong box, you're stuck there for a minute. You are stuck going to a hospital. You're stuck getting checked out even further.
Yeah.
You are being seen for further evaluation. When really, just getting back, we feel great. We feel good. It's just a few weeks later, or months, or even years down the road, that it really hits people, and like it can hit people differently, of course.
Right.
But I have never met somebody. I've never met somebody who has gone through an experience like that it hasn't affected.
Right.
In one way or another. And even if they have a dream, or if they just have some kind of emotion about a movie or something, somebody will have a reaction if they've been through something like that. Mm-hmm. If they don't, you might be seen for that problem too. Like it you know, it's a very fine line that we walk, and it really took a lot out of me to admit that I needed more than alcohol to feel better, to actually start feeling something again, to find words to express how I was feeling.
I wonder why that's the go-to, like, no matter what branch, especially for the Marines and the Army, though. I wonder why that's the go-to medication. Like, it's embedded in us, no matter what.
It's numbing.
Yeah, no matter what. Like, you could never have touched this stuff a day in your life, and if you're in the Army, you're in the Marines, like, that's like a go-to. Like, I need alcohol. I need something to drink.
Yes, it's numbing, and it opens your inhibitions drop. Mm-hmm. You feel like you can be more open, but really that's just the alcohol. Like, mm-hmm. Your reflexes have slowed, so, and then you can sleep. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to get, and it's legal.
Facts, all facts.
And as long as you don't smell like it in the morning, you're fine.
That's it.
It's too easy. And it's very sad, because there were times where I even getting back, I questioned it, because then I was like, I think I'm drinking too much. Like, it got I won't go into details, but
right.
I don't even think I should be here based on that. Just my action after getting back from Iraq, I didn't know that it was based on all of that. I felt invincible. I felt like I was still wearing that bulletproof vest. I felt like maybe that should have been my time, or something. Yeah. I wasn't sure. I was so confused. But then at the same, I didn't have kids either. Then I was in a very strange time in my life where I had just done all of that and came back to what? Really, I came back to nothing.
Yeah. I
came trying to build my life after all of that. And yes, granted, I did a couple more years and trained more soldiers before, that year went off again to Iraq again, shortly after that. And then I ETS'd. I had autumn. Strangely, small world, right?
Right.
My kid's dad, he was on one of the security teams.
Right.
He was in that convoy that was hit. He was the command driver of that convoy that was hit, and he was one of our security guys that was up on the hill. He remembers seeing me. He remembers my attitude up there. He remembers, seeing me the first time, and he said, "You were some crazy woman up there, coming out there, you brown t-shirt, PT shorts, and flip-flops. Like, you ran that place." I was like, well, I fucking did.
That's right.
I mean, you have to, and who calls a formation up there for 14 people, and you don't want to pull attention to yourself up there. You don't want to do that.
Right.
I was like, whoever pulled that formation was dumb anyways. I was like, but you remember? Yeah, and you stood out like a sore thumb up there with your arms all crossed and everything behind us. Like, yes, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It was kind of strange. I was like, well, I was off duty at that time.
Right.
It's stuff episode. And we got back, and it was I had autumn, and was a stay-home mom for about a year. They told me I was blessed enough to do that.
Right.
And then joined the National Guard up in Santa Rosa. And I was a medic up there, and then another supply position, 92 Alpha, logistics supply. But really the training NCO, up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got orders.
All
for Monterey, and then because the unit up there was like supposedly closing down and jaying out, and they gave me the option because they found that they weren't actually closing down.
Right.
Well, you got orders already. You either stay, and keep in mind, Santa Rosa is my hometown. Santa Rosa unit is right behind the high school that I graduated from.
Right.
My hometown. I was living in the house that I grew up in up there. Or you have Monterey orders, which scared me. I had just moved. Really, I was in all of this that I know, the familiar really.
Right.
And I took a chance, and I said, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Monterey, and then they put me in supply, and I warned them. I said, I have no idea what to do with supply.
Right.
I'm communications. I'm medic. I'm all this other stuff, but supply. No idea. Right. I know supply sergeants, and I don't think they do what they do at all. And I believe it was Sergeant Serrato at the time. He was working there. He said, "Well, I think you can do it." Like, do you know me at all? I think you do, Master Sergeant. Like, it was very intimidating. It was very challenge, really. And I walked into that place, and
you did fine.
Wanted to make it.
You did fine.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I wanted you guys to be so happy. I wanted to make sure that you guys had everything that you needed and more, and oh my gosh, I tried my darndest to spoil you guys just a little bit.
It was definitely it was perfect. Trust me. It was perfect.
And then they get a not happy environment, but you don't have to be scared to walk in, but be warned. Right. Do not piss Cooper off.
Always. Look, that came across in spades. We knew that. It was just no. So yeah.
Don't piss me off. And if your name's on the list, which is my bad list, you need to sign your records and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for anything.
At all.
Yeah, I was told I was too nice. I was told I was too nice.
No.
Oh my goodness.
No, I didn't get that. You were nice. Don't get me wrong, but too nice. No.
I think it was because I was getting everybody stuff that a lot of other supply sergeants didn't think about. They're like, "Oh my gosh, why?" I was like, "Well, this is why." Or if our guys shoot great on the range, this is their incentive. They get a weapons tool.
I'm not.
I wanted to make you guys feel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit on other supply sergeants, especially now that I'm not even in anymore. I'm not gonna shit on other supply sergeants, but I think they did the bare minimum, or they half-assed it. They showed up, they signed papers here and there, they made sure inventory was straight, and they went on about their way. They didn't try to. You tried to work for your unit. You tried to work for your outfit. You didn't.
I didn't want to go home late. You guys didn't want to go home late. I worked for you guys because I knew if I worked for you guys would work for me.
Hell yeah.
It was a very give and take, and everybody wins, and I was taught by great people. I had great leaders. I was very, very fortunate, and I took from them what I hoped to even train my soldiers when I had them. I told them one day, I train you guys not to harp on you or anything, but I train you guys to take my job one day.
Right.
Because one day you'll be taking somebody else's. And I think that resonated with them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at things a little bit different. One of my soldiers, the armor, he kind of snapped into gear. He was denied promotion only because some paperwork was wrong. Right. It's the little things that you can do that takes care of your soldiers. Fix that guy's paperwork. Follow up on that soldier, because I got him promoted right away.
Right.
He became the best soldier ever.
Right.
He worked so hard. Then he became started to work up at state shortly after that.
Right.
It's something so little, and it doesn't take very much effort for somebody to help out. You don't have to be their squad leader. You could be their friend and be like, wait, something's not right.
Right.
And just step in and it makes the world of a difference if you change that person's world. Just, I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does.
It's just something so small, and it helps you too. In the end, if your soldier's happy, or if your peer is happy, everything gets done faster. Everything is lighter. Everything is work done harder. Like, you can ride them hard and put them away wet, and they'll still want to work for you.
Yeah.
That's a horse thing, by the way. But like,
hey, I was gonna let you go. Look, I'm not gonna even lie. I tried to listen. I tried to just stay as straight faced. Look, I tried to be as straight faced about that when you made that comment as I could, because I was like, the people listening. I was like, the people listening, we're going to glaze over that like that shit ain't it.
You ride apart wet.
Oh, man.
It's a horse thing.
There you go.
Oh, I just got super hot red.
It's straight.
I don't think I've ever seen you blush either.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, look, they get it. If they don't,
you know what? I'm not the person who ever said that in the military. My battalion commander at a meeting said that in front of, like, a bunch of our command team. Yeah. He said that in front of everybody. We kind of looked at him a little crooked. I'm like, I get it, sir. I totally get it. Because we're horse people.
And then I'll say, everybody looked at you when you said, I get it. Everybody was like, oh yeah, you know what he's talking about.
He thought he read the room. He read the room, like, and you can see on his face, like, I don't think I said that right. I'm like, and he's like, okay. We kind of gave each other a little nod. Right. I guess horse people would understand. Like, you say weird things. You say weird things sometimes.
It's fine. Hey, it's cool. You know, I'm with it though. I'm with freedom of expression.
And then you realize what you said, and you're like, oh, wrong crowd.
Wrong crowd. But you know,
but it's the same idea. If they work hard and they feel like they've done something and have accomplished something, they want to come back and they'll do more. And that's the best part. I love seeing everybody's faces, like, when they came back. People were asking if I had room in my unit, like, or my section, because they wanted to come work with me. They wanted to help. They wanted to be a part of the atmosphere that was created in there.
Right.
And it wasn't just me that was doing it. It was me allowing my soldiers to be a part of it too. Right. Not being the really hard person that some leaders like to take on or whatever, but like affection and whatever and all that stuff. Yeah, I had that, but I also expected great things from you if they were in that section with me. And darn it, we did accomplish it. We got best in state with a lot of things. We did great. We did great things. We had a great team.
Hell yeah.
And that was probably, I have to say, through my whole career, that was probably the best team I ever had was there with those soldiers. And you and Joe, like, everybody coming in, just, I mean, give me crap about everything a lot, but like, that was the environment that, like, I fostered, that I, like, appreciated, because it was awesome. Like, I didn't want people to, I wanted to be approachable. Right. So at one point, I was not approachable. I scared people at one point.
Yes.
One of my soldiers. Yeah.
Yes.
I was kind of shocked when somebody told me that. Like, they didn't want to talk to me because of my face. I had this rusting, just crazy look on my face. Like, I would bite somebody's head off. Yeah. I didn't realize that for the longest time. Like, I just would have this angry look. Yeah. I wasn't angry. I guess had this mean look. Yeah. And like, well, that's not me. But I wore it really well. So I wanted to make sure that people knew that they could talk to me. And it turned out really well. Like, we had people just coming in on orders. Joe would come in on orders a lot. And help out. And he was so much fun. And you would too. Like, it was so funny to have you guys in. It's like, you would surprise us all the time. And just, he would clean my desk, of all things. Like,
if I'm in
most immaculate supplies of all the state.
Yeah.
But he'd clean my desk.
If I'm in there on orders, you damn straight, bro. If I'm on orders, like, I'm making that check, like, for real. What am I gonna do? Just sit around and not do shit? Like, nah, I had shit.
Yeah, it was so awesome to have you. Like, it was like, I didn't have to tell you guys what to do.
Nah, I just.
You guys weren't like. Yeah. It was like, I don't know. We're all adults, right? Like, you guys just knew if something was a mess, like, just help clean it up or whatever. Right. But you guys were smart enough to ask me, yo, does this go here? Right. Before I freak out and everything, and then everything just comes unraveled because everything has its place. Because I had OCD and all that. But it was amazing how we all worked together as a team. And like I said earlier, I wish people had just a little glimpse of that once in their life. Just that.
Heck yeah.
That feeling you can rely on this person and they have your back. And I had so many inspections that relied on people that came in on orders. Mm-hmm. And I was basically carried by people coming in like that. And there was a handful of people that I would choose, like, because they knew that what to do, really, you know, like, and my pickiness and all that. And I trusted them 100% that we would be amazing during inspection because I had them on my team at that point. And damn it, we won. Like, when I say we won, I mean we were on the top
it wasn't
of
even
that
close.
list every time.
Heck yeah.
I mean, like, I didn't have coins for safety. We were doing it safe too, by the way. Safety. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I know it was a thing, but like I didn't really give awards for being like the safest in the state. Like, not that. Like, that was amazing.
Hell yeah.
But I don't remember if you were there, but we had the NGP team from Washington D.C. come, the clerk team.
I was when they came through. Yeah.
Yeah. That day they came to the inspection was my report date for school. So they had to inspect me, and I had to go to phase 2 of my 1980. I was not even qualified in 1980 yet in supply. They kind of looked at me a little sideways because the very first question on the inspection is the personnel qualified as a 1980?
Right.
And I said, well, here's the thing. Today is my report date, so
you make
can
that
we
call.
hurry this along?
Right.
Yeah. They kind of laughed at it, and we walked around the back, like around the shelves area, remember? And one of the inspectors from Washington, D.C., they've been doing this for about combined 20 years, said that they had never seen a supply room that great, like that in order, that great.
Right.
And their years of inspecting. And I didn't know how to take it. I thought it was cool.
Right.
Like, okay, it's looking.
Did they inquire about the flamethrower?
Huh?
Did they inquire? They were like, what's up with the flame?
Yeah. Well, that's when, like, the other chief, like, came in from, like, say, like, what do you do? Like, do you want to become a warrant officer? I'm like, whoa, can I go to school today first? Can I please go to school? And then another person came in, like, you know, we have officer positions. I'm like, no, I don't want to stay an NCO.
Right.
I need to work on this first. Like, let me learn the job first. Because they were like, how did you learn? I'm like, I taught myself. There's a whole lot of things you can learn by yourself if you really just apply yourself. And people, I don't think, apply themselves a lot with anything anymore. Like really, really apply themselves.
Right. Like,
remember when you were training me and we're working? I cannot bring this up, but you would tell me, okay, do this for 3 minutes or whatever. Like,
yeah.
And at first, I thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Even that, you have to apply yourself if you want results.
Right. You
have to apply yourself if you want to see that 100%,
right.
100% on that inspection. It's all about giving. And it takes a special person to give a lot and not expect. Because I didn't expect to see results. I wanted results. I didn't expect it. But I realized it is what I give in. I wanted to get the best in state, but I didn't think I would. But when I got it, I was even more overjoyed. It's really about giving and applying yourself. And it took me a long time to learn that too.
Oh, yeah.
I was a stubborn little kid. I was so stubborn. I was stubborn as a teenager. My mom will tell you, oh my gosh, and I just realizing it in the accident, like, my very last thought was for somebody else.
Yeah.
My very last thought wasn't about me. And
Like I
if
said,
that doesn't show you what hurt somebody has,
yeah,
like you can't really say that unless you go through that. Like you can't really know what kind of heart really comes out, what shows until you have that kind of experience. And I guess people who've been there can understand that in a way. Like when you know, and what you see is what you see, and what is revealed is either a harsh reality or confirmation of who you are.
100%. What are some points in your life doing some of your dark times where you, how do I say it, seen the effects that what you were going through affecting those around you?
I know I didn't bring this up because this is also it's a very.
And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too.
Yep, I'm going to. You know why? Because I can now.
Okay.
And I'm not scared of my truth.
There
but
we go.
I was in Monterey actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were still there.
I probably was.
And I tried to commit suicide there. I was in a very dark place because of something so stupid. But then, at that point in my life, it was very, very big. I didn't have the tools, the knowledge, or the wherewithal to process what was happening. I was going through a breaking point between me and my kid's father. Mm-hmm. And we were together many years, of course, so, it was very hard. I was just moved from the next town over on base there, and by myself. He had taken the kids because we agreed that he was going to take them back up to Santa Rosa to be with their nanny for a couple months until I got settled, really. I was alone. I was very much just lost. I ended up in the hospital. I should not have been alive the next day either.
Right.
The next day I woke up and Dozer was nudging at me and trying to get me, my dog.
I remember
was trying
Dozer.
to get me up. And,
Dozer was a great puppy.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't walk. I had lost balance. It was absolutely horrible. I smashed my phone, so I couldn't call anybody. That was, it was very, I don't know if you heard of that. I think I tried to keep that to myself back then because I wasn't ready to tell anybody or share because I went through a lot of things after that. But
I heard about it, but I didn't feel it was my place to bring it up until you were ready to talk about it. It was never my place to.
And how long? Years.
I'm trying to tell you, it was never my place to put you on the spot and question you about it. If you wanted to talk about it, fine. If you never wanted to talk about it, that was also fine. There was nothing, it didn't change
I think
our where we were.
I think it was because it was a moment of weakness for me, and I don't like feeling weak.
Right.
I was always strong for everybody else. I was always a rock. I was always a foundation that people can rely on, and that was a low, really weak spot for me. And I didn't like to admit that I was there, but that's the one thing that I learned that I needed to do was admit that I was not strong and I had breaking points, and it was okay to ask for help. I just didn't know then, and there was no reason for me to be here even then. So actually, this was my third chance, really. I don't know. I think I'm testing somebody up there or something. I might be a cat or something in this life. I have no idea, but this is insane now I think about it. What am I thinking? And I took that as I guess you learn something every time, or whatever you want to call it. Every time that you feel like you shouldn't be there, take that as a sign to make it better, because it helps everybody around you. It makes a positive impact. The butterfly effect,
100%.
A single drop somewhere. Yes, like it can affect so much. I became like a speaker at AA. I became a motivational speaker at some local schools. I started to write and prepare for the therapy sessions for other doctors that I was later seeing, because I had so much material from all of my learning of sessions,
right,
of therapy, of coping skills, of using the right words to express yourself again, that I then gave to other doctors, then gave to other patients of theirs. And they came back and said it was amazing to see that person just open it again. Like, just because of that spreadsheet I gave them, that just, you don't use the word angry, use this word instead of angry. And it was hard. It's so hard to not use angry. But you can say trapped, frustrated, because I'm cut off from this, but you can't use angry. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say pissed or angry.
Yeah, because you ask even like people that haven't been through what we've been through. If you ask someone, why are you angry, or stop being angry, like don't get upset, don't be angry, like that person could have went from a 0 and now you got them in a 6 automatically. They haven't hit 10 yet, but you got them in a 6 automatically, because it's like, I wasn't angry, but because you're saying that I'm angry, I'm now becoming angry, because you're not you feel like you say, you feel cut off, you feel like what you're saying isn't even coming across, and it's like, I'm upset now, and I'm getting angrier. You're trying to make me angry for some magical breakthrough when I'm trying to give you... Yeah, I'm trapped. Yeah. I'm trying to give you the keys right now of what's going to help you get that breakthrough without pushing me to that point, because now you're making me not want to trust you with anything else that I have to say.
It's a volcano.
Yeah.
Because the more and more it gets built, it just explodes at the end. And that was me. I was like a huge volcano, just full of anger, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know how to turn that anger into words to tell people how I was feeling, even though I knew what I was feeling. It was so simple as just telling them, yo, I feel cornered right now because of this. Right. Don't say you too much, because then they'll feel attacked or whatever, but I feel cornered because I'm not used to this. I'm not used to these questions. Or there's so many ways to express yourself, and I could not know that. And I think it changed so much for me, just to be able to use different words than angry or pissed, and then feel that volcano build and build and build. And before I just exploded, and I feel sorry for that stool that it got of that one.
For sure. That poor stool.
But yeah, it's very importantly, I didn't know the value in me, like the true, that like just words carry such great things, like, and that's why I don't like to call people names. That's why I don't like to say harsh things to people, because I know how much value are in words.
Yeah.
And they can destroy somebody, or they can build them up and lift them up. And like, the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is not true.
No.
That's very not true.
Not at all.
That's furthest from the truth, because words are probably the strongest thing that we have. Time is the most valuable, but words are the strongest.
Oh, easily. You can build up someone into a god, or you can turn someone into a devil purely off of words alone.
Exactly. And even yourself. You can talk yourself into being great, or you can talk yourself into being evil.
Absolute. Very absolute. And last key point here, coming on the other side of what's happened to you recently, what are the major takeaways, your viewpoints on life now, coming on the other side of your accident recently?
Oh my goodness. I think so. When the gentleman that stopped to help open those doors with force, it wasn't very easy to open that door. It was almost like baptism by steel.
Yeah.
Your baptism by fire, but thankfully that car was not on fire.
Right.
Like a new chance, I guess, or it was. I thought I was dreaming a little bit because people were running to me, and I wasn't expecting it. Like I almost thought that, well, this isn't the heaven I thought it would be. Like
right.
This isn't what it's supposed to be. Like that's kind of what I mindset I was in. I was like, okay, I'm still alive. So what next? It was very hard to grasp at first, but it's very fast in reality. But in your mind, when you're there in that moment, you're thinking of all this stuff. I can't say you. I mean, like me, of course, but
I understand what you mean by you. Yeah. You're speaking of you in the third person.
Like,
yeah, I understand 100%.
Yeah. I started to see if I could touch my fingers and see if I had feeling in my fingers. I started to wiggle my toes, see if I could wiggle my toes. When I realized I couldn't really move my legs was when I started to kind of get concerned. Like I knew the car was messed up and the airbags had deployed and it was not looking good. But when I couldn't move my legs was when I started to wonder, oh, is this what happens when people say they didn't know that they were pinned because of adrenaline and something Russian? You know, they say they didn't know that happened because of adrenaline or the shock.
Right.
I started to worry that I was in shock. I started to think that my leg was gone. Honestly, I didn't want to look down. And that was very humbling because I didn't realize how much I valued a leg.
Right.
I would think sometimes like, oh, that would really suck if I lost this leg or eyesight or hearing or something. Like I didn't think I truly valued what I had been given. I have been thinking a lot since then about reacting to things too. Like it's very strange. I know that I can't control. Again, I go back to this control thing because of the whole steering wheel, and it was very much a manifestation of what I had been going through some time of losing control.
Right.
I can only control how I react. And recently I've been just here. Partly because I forgot those words. Didn't want to use them. Didn't think they were necessary anymore for quite some time. Again, I am now out of the military. I used all the tools while I was in, a lot more, of course. I'm still in therapy and everything, but I am right now. I'm just trying to find those words again,
right,
and remind myself that just because you're not in the military doesn't mean you're less of a person, and
right.
all of that is a whole different path you have to take after you get out and everything. So I didn't want to use those words anymore. I didn't think that they mattered. So I was filled with rage and bitterness, and when I felt like I didn't have control of anything, that's how I would react, out of anger, which again, I'm not supposed to say, but
right.
I didn't know how to do anything else at that point. Since then, since the accident, I have become more aware of, and it was only Friday, of that person that I was before Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like. I look back, I don't even recognize that person. That person was somebody that it made me sick to my stomach to think that was the same person.
Right.
I was trying to control things with my fists, like I said, instead of controlling my own heart. I am stronger in heart than I am with my fists. And I forgot that. Because I know that, like, my heart is so strong. And I was becoming weaker and weaker the more I used my fists to express that. Yeah. And it was it took a concrete pillar to realize that.
Yeah.
And it's not like I know it sounds like so, like, just generic and everything, but wow, just it is very eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's very, very, and I don't know if everybody that goes through something like this experiences something like I have, but maybe the timing was right. Maybe that pill was meant for me that day. Well, it definitely has my page on it.
There you go. But yeah, I think definitely it's especially from what we spoke about earlier, prior to the show, is filled you with a newfound appreciation and approach into how you approach your life as well, and taking things, as we both said throughout this episode, taking things less for granted and just really truly appreciating every moment, every breath of life.
Yeah, like you said, you thought you would always have time. There's never going to be enough time.
Yeah, you
there will
always...
never be enough time, because if your heart is big enough, it's never gonna end.
Right.
There's no end. We're so linear sometimes than we think about it. But we have so much more than a time limit, really. And there's never going to be enough of it. Like, and it's so beautiful and sad to think about, but if we just love everything of it as much as we could, even if it's a sad moment, and value that for what it is, at that time, it's still beautiful. It's still an experience. And we are so very lucky to be able to have that.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I got nothing else. I think you pretty much said it all. Like,
mic drop.
Mic drop. That's it. Why don't you let these people know, if they so choose, how they can follow you on social media?
Oh, sure. Social media is Instagram.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Instagram is CCSN. Well, I totally forgot my Instagram, actually.
I think it's like CCSX. Don't worry, everybody. I'll be putting the links.
Snacks. That's my snacks. Yeah, CCSNAX, like snacks.
There you go.
CCSNAX underscore
something
C4.
Another. There you go. I'll be putting the links.
Yep,
I'll be putting all the links down in the description. Don't worry if you can't remember.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Because I don't even know my own name on that thing, but people find me.
There you go.
Somehow, some way, people find me, and then I'm on TikTok now. I just started that thing.
Right.
Which is hilarious.
Yes.
That's a whole different world. I love it. It's interesting. It's very interesting. It's cool. That one is C4 underscore Coop. That one's easy to remember.
There we go.
And I won't change it. I have that bad habit of changing all my handles and everything.
But yeah.
Then I forget.
There we go. But I'll be posting all those links down in the description, so feel free to follow her. And if her story inspired you to go seek help yourself, or to just do some introversive looking into figuring out who you really are, then that's all the more forward.
Definitely. And I am also a member. Remember Lulu?
Yeah.
She does it. She's a peer counselor now through the VA. she's also available. Like, but I'm available to talk at any time for anybody who just needs just a listening ear. I like to talk a lot, so just lay it on me, and we can bounce experiences off each other or something. Because like nobody should ever feel like they can't talk to anybody, because somebody needs somebody at the point in life. And if I can just be there to listen to something, I don't even care what it is. You can talk about your dog. You can talk about whatever you like. Because I love dogs anyways. But, like, I will be there to listen. What was the saying? I'd rather listen to you talk about anything and everything than have to recite something at your funeral.
Facts.
Because nobody wants that. And, like, I am the least judgmental person. I tell my story not for sympathy or pity or anything like that. I tell my story so maybe it touches somebody else. I tell my story because it might matter to somebody, and it might resonate with somebody, and I don't know, it might have somebody make a phone call one day.
For sure. The irony in what you just said is, I don't even know if it's like, if I can say clandestine or what, but it's so monumental, because literally in the episode right before this one, me and my guest on that one, we talk about the same thing, about how some people put stuff on Facebook or they put stuff on social media, and then you have these people out there who they use that as entertainment, and they use that to basically dig at someone versus like to talk to someone and understand someone, because people, I believe, put that out there not so much to be judged or ridiculed or to draw sympathy, as you said, but just so people understand, okay, I've placed this out there, so the next action that I take, you know where it's coming from. It's not necessarily that it's coming out of nowhere. This is the place that I'm coming from at this point in time. And it's so people know you versus judge you. And I get that.
Yes. When I say to somebody, I understand how you feel, or I know what you're going through, you're damn right I'm going to know what you're going through. Right. And this is why.
Right.
Because I have lived in that position. Like, I have been there. I have done that before. I have felt that. I have put that gun away. Right. I have pulled that gun back out. I have been there.
Right.
And I know what you're going through. Like, so you're exactly right. When people put those stories out there, it's not for, whatever reason, but to explain that there are people out there that have been through things and that are going through things like you. And it's comforting to know that you're not alone.